All right, so my name is Isaac Navius. I founded Localfi at the end of 2018. Localfi specializes on helping locally owned businesses be able to market themselves. Within just that kind of a little over a year and a half, we've been able to grow tremendously where we have 10 team members now, over 30 clients all across the US. So here are just some of our clients you can see. And we've even moved into Canada and Mexico. So that's always exciting going international now. You know, really the reason why I decided to start Localfi is because I had a true passion for helping local businesses and community. My dad actually ran an international mask and puppet museum growing up. Yep, I said that correctly. It's kind of an odd business for sure. But from watching him, I got to see one, how much of an impact he made in the community. His mission was really to provide arts to underprivileged children, and he was able to do that through going to elementary schools, summer camps, and a variety of different things. But as his business grew, he got pulled more and more out of the operations, and he had to focus more and more on getting grants and getting donations. And it really just burned him out because he wasn't really working on his passion anymore. He wasn't really working on his true gift, which is really artistic. He was having to do anything he could to get the business to survive. And that really influenced me because I wanted to be able to create a system that allowed local businesses to focus on what they do best, and we provide them with a proven marketing system so that they don't have to worry about where their next clients are coming in. And that really opens up a business to be able to focus on what they can do best to benefit the community. So that was one of my biggest whys. Another big why for us is creating freedom. I'm very much into just, having the freedom to be able to focus on your passion, your gifts. And so we wanted to create freedom both for myself and Kim. We wanted to create freedom for our teammates. We wanted to create freedom for our clients. So for our team, for instance, we have, our team members are able to travel. They're able to work flexible schedules. We have a team member who's living on a boat right now and is working full time for us. So it's pretty amazing just the freedom we've been able to create there for them to be able to live the lives that they're passionate about, but also be able to do work that really gives back to the community. We also wanted to really help our clients create freedom. Within business, there's three main systems to having a successful business. That's marketing, operations, and financial. And so what we've done is we've created that marketing system so we can really come into a business, take over that marketing system for them so they don't have to worry about that anymore. And then they get to work on what they do best, which is their operations. It's giving back to the community, sharing their gifts with the community. And we really believe that community is I think communities are like the power centers of the US, and that local businesses are the cornerstone of every great community. And so that's why we really created Localfi, to be able to give back to communities. And thank you so much, Local First, for providing this platform for us to give back to local communities. So today, I'm going to be jumping into and giving real examples on actionable items that you can take right now to really increase your visibility and your communication with clients. Right now, obviously, is a very challenging time. People have a lot of questions. They need to get information quickly to understand if you're open, what offerings you have, how to take advantage of those offerings. So let's switch screens again. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Zoom, where'd you go? Okay. So today I'm really going to be covering Google My Business. Please make sure if you have any questions, ask them in the chat box. My lovely partner Kim is here and she can answer them, as well as we're going to be opening up so you can actually ask questions to me directly as well. So, but today we're really going to be focused on local listings, at local SEO, and Google My Business, because from doing marketing for over 10 years, Google My Business has been by far the best ROI in terms of driving real results to local businesses that I've come across. There's so many benefits to it. It's become the #1 place people are looking to find local businesses. Think about this. The Google Maps app is actually used more than Facebook. It's the most used app in the entire world, with over 50% of smartphone users opening up Google Maps every single month. And so you can see why that would be important on why you really need to be on this platform. And we're going to go through and show you. So Google My Business, GMB, it's also called Google Maps. It's also called, it has actually expanded tremendously in the last 1.5 to 2 years, where it's really provided a ton of new things that you can do on it. Some of you may have heard of Google Plus back in the day. That didn't do very well. Google shut it down about 2 years ago, but they focused all of the resources they were putting on the Google Plus into Google My Business, GMB, and actually have created, GMB is essentially a social media business platform now. So there's so much you can do with it. So that's what we're going to show you. So first off, the first thing I want everyone to do is just Google the business name. Go into Google and just Google the business name and see what your Google business card looks like. So your Google business card is right here, as you can see over on the right-hand side. This is actually some of the most prime real estate you can get on Google. And you can see from the page, it takes up the entire page if you're well optimized. So that means that you can capitalize. You can essentially have almost about 45% of Google captured on this page. You have that real estate with your Google My Business card. The Google My Business card has also become one of the best conversion tools for any business out there. Because think about this now, if somebody hears about you, they're usually not just walking into your store now, especially now, they're going to Google you first. And this is literally the first thing that pops up when they Google your business is your Google My Business card. And so this is your first impression. You have 7 seconds to make a great first impression. And you can see when you're looking at us, from our Google business card, immediately, very friendly, inviting photo. You can see the 5-star reviews. You can scroll down and you can actually see some of the clips that people are talking about. You can go in and see all the reviews. You can see your description, which is helpful both in terms of SEO, in terms of getting ranked on your keywords, as well as educating people on what you offer. And then this is a big, big part that I'm going to be talking about today is actually your posts. Google has now allowed you to start putting posts that show up directly on your GMB card, and it shows up very prominent on your phone as well. And these cards these posts can be extremely helpful. We've been seeing extremely good results in terms of, educating our clients' prospects on what they're offering. And so you can just kind of go through and see, that we're posting pretty regularly. And, this is actually a client that joined from our last webinar and has been doing extremely well. You can see, we highlighted and promoted our last webinar that we did for Local First as well. So I'm going to be getting a little bit more into posts and everything you can do with those. That's one of the biggest opportunities most businesses have, because it's literally a direct way to inform your consumer about your hours, whether you're open, what your offerings are. And it's so much faster to actually find this stuff on Google My Business than it is to try and find it on your website right now. So a ton of people are using Google My Business. It's actually become the most used platform to find businesses out there. So with that in mind, I'm going to jump right in and actually show you the back end of one of our clients, and so that you can kind of see the power this has. And I'm going to actually show you how to do posting and some secret sauce stuff that I usually don't teach people aside from our clients, but we're excited to be able to teach you today. So this is one of our clients that they are a virtual shooting range. They started with us in the midst of the pandemic, right in the midst. They're a virtual shooting range that focuses on gun education and safety. And run by an ex-military veteran, and so really great guy, but he was struggling. He's launched his business like 2 months before COVID hit, and it just caused so much issue for him. So before we start with any client, we start with our starting screenshots. We see how they're ranking at the time, what their results are. So you can see when we started with this client, he was 29 visits to his website, 18 driving directions, 2 calls, pretty minimal, as you can see. Now, if you can see today, we can scroll down and see, in comparison, 371 visits to their website, 124 driving directions. That's a pretty strong indicator that people are coming into the business. 56 calls, 2 messages. I mean, these stats are just, I don't know what the increase on this is, thousands% increase, as you can see. Just insanity. And so we talked with him just about 2 weeks ago, and he told us last month he did 146 times what his revenue goal was. So we over doubled his revenue goal in the midst of a pandemic in an education-based or in a entertainment-based industry, which is one of the hardest industries right now. So, let me know if you see like how powerful this can be. I mean, this is driving so much traffic. And the cool thing about Google My Business is the budget needed compared to a lot of the other marketing avenues like PPC, paid clicks, radio, TV ads is so minimal. We're spending about 1/10 of his main competitor's budget, and we're beating him on rankings. And so just to go through, I'm just going to show you some of the back end things that you can do on Google My Business, which is really powerful. So right from the get-go, when you probably already have a Google My Business account. If you don't, you can go to www.google.com/business, and you can set one up right there. So when you go in, I'm just going to run through some of the back end stuff so right here is how you can change your name, and here's how you can change your categories. You can actually add up to 5 categories. So this can be really powerful. A lot of people have not added 5. You want to make sure you're adding categories that are related to your business though. Don't add like a fake category because you can get penalized by Google if you do that. So, add the categories, but make sure you have all of them that make sense in there. Obviously, here's your address. If you do service areas outside of your actual location, you can actually add up to 20 service areas. So you can go in and you can click and you can add, you can add zip codes, you can add cities. So this is really powerful for especially service-based industries that are going out. Our roofing companies, our painting companies, junk removal, we all use service areas, and that's really, really helpful. And you want to make sure it's much better to have like zip codes in there than just say like Arizona, because Google is going to be like, well, I doubt you serve all of Arizona. So they're not actually going to like take that into account. So it's much better to have specific zip codes or city codes than just one general large area. All right, so a new thing with Google is you can add a short code, which is cool. So make sure you do this. I like to put keywords into this just so I'm defining keywords so everyone understands. A keyword is essentially when you're typing into Google something. So if you're typing in restaurant near me, or restaurant Phoenix, that's a keyword. And so keywords are important because obviously you want to be able to rank for the keywords that people are searching for when they're looking to use your type of industry. So just wanted to define that quickly. So now some of the really cool things that Google has added, there's appointment link now. So if you do have appointments that you can set up directly from your website, make sure you add this. This massively increases conversion when you do have an online scheduling system. But some really cool things, you can add products now. You can add services. You can add different highlights. So you can see, the owner is a veteran. So we're able to put that into there. And then you have your description here. Just know with your description, you again want to use keywords, but it can only be 750 characters. So make sure, we like to type it out on Word first, do a word count, make sure it's less than that. But you do definitely want to try and put as many keywords as you can into this because that's going to really help. Now, reviews are huge on Google. Not only are they going to increase conversion tremendously, but Google actually looks at how many reviews are you getting, how recently, and how quickly did you respond. Google will actually increase your ranking if you're responding to the questions and reviews you get within 24 to 48 hours. So we always, for our clients, respond within 24 hours to all of our reviews. Because again, that just shows Google this is a real business. They're responding quickly. They care about their customers. So you can see, how we've responded to every single review already. Now, one thing to notice is that keywords in reviews get crawled by Google, and Google sends out its spiders, it crawls the web, and then comes back with all the information, and that's how they judge your ranking on Google search and SEO. And so having reviews in having keywords in your reviews, if you're a restaurant saying, hey, this was the best Italian restaurant in Scottsdale, that is a great review there, because Google will crawl that, and when someone search in best Italian restaurant in Scottsdale, they'll actually see someone left it in a review and pull up that listing higher. So that's a little secret. And then when we respond to reviews, we also oftentimes will put keywords into our responding, so that, again, it just helps with those keywords. So that's a pretty big hint. Not many people know. So definitely make sure that you, when you're getting reviews, try and get them to leave keywords in it. All right, so messaging is pretty cool now. You can actually get messages directly from Google My Business as long as you have the My Business app on your phone. So definitely check out that. That's a free app that allows you to manage your Google My Business account. It's actually very helpful and can do some things that the backend on a computer can't do. So going into photos, photos are really, really important. People want to be able to see what you're doing. And what we tell our clients is we want a minimum of 3 in each of these categories. You know, so you can see we've added the outside, we've added inside clips, we've, you know, added team. So you definitely want to try and get 3 of each into each category, and you just go into the category, click plus, and that's where you can put a photo in. And then keep in mind, you want to name your photo before you upload it. Google is actually going to go and look at your photo. We actually put full metadata into our photos before we upload it. So when Google goes in and looks at it, we have a description, we say where the website is, we actually geotag it to the actual location. You don't necessarily need all that. It's beneficial, but at minimum, name your photo with a keyword. So if you're a restaurant, say, you know, top restaurant Scottsdale, and name that photo before you upload it. You know, so that's just the key there. If you do want to geotag it, there is online, you can type in like geotag photos, and there are some free apps that can help you geotag, which means that the photo actually has embedded in it the location that you're at, which again builds trust with Google, which increases rankings. Bookings is interesting. This is for some clients where you can actually book directly through Google My Business. So you can see that some people have actually been booking there. Products is really cool because you can actually add all of your products online. We have a brand new art studio that just opened up in the Fashion Square Mall in Scottsdale. And so we're uploading all of the different products online so people can see right from their phone what the different art that they offer are. So that's really cool. And then services, this is where, you know, if you're more of a service-based industry, you can add your different window cleanings, roofing repair, all the different things that you do, you can add into services. Now, this is also really interesting, the website. This, if you don't have a website, this can be a really powerful, like quick website that actually gets generated right from your Google My Business information. So we do have some of our smaller clients who, you know, don't have the full budget to build a website right now. We actually just use the Google My Business website, and it's very effective. You know, it actually will show, I haven't even optimized this website, you know, because he has a website, but you know, you can see it. It looks pretty cool. And we haven't, this is literally just pulling from Google. I haven't done anything with it because I haven't launched it. So this can be really powerful for people who don't have a website, or if your website goes down or is in transition, this is a great kind of temporary website. So just wanted to run through the back end there quickly to show everyone. And then one other thing I want to show, because businesses, it's so important to get reviews, is that now on Google, they finally caught up to us. For years, I've been coding a direct link to the Google My Review box. So it's a very easy process to ask and leave a review. Now you can get that right from home. So you just go here and get the share the review form. And then this, what's cool is if you copy this and put it in, you can see it will actually bring you directly to the review box. And so that makes it super easy for people to leave a review. Before, you had to type in the business name, find the listing, find the reviews, click on write a review. It was a 5-step process. Now this is a 1-step process. So make sure you go and grab that review link from your back end. Like I showed you, it's right here. And then you can share that link and start asking people to leave reviews. Reviews are one of the most important things that you can be getting, you know, right now. Crazy important. So those are, I ran through the back end. I want to see if anyone has any questions right now. Let me know, because I just went through that pretty quickly. I know. And let's see if I can pull up the chat box. All right. Kim, do you see if there's any chat? Because I don't see the chat box right now.
So for the food industry, does the menu go into products, or is the menu separate since you don't find the food right there?
Okay, so for the food industry, there's a little bit more you can do for the food industry. So when you type in a restaurant now, there's a couple different ways that the menu is actually showing up, and it will show up a little bit differently from your phone versus from your computer as well. So one of the main things you want to make sure is that you have a really good menu in this. And so this is actually added through the user. So it's not actually the business that uploads this image. You want to upload it as a user, and then it will capture this. And so that's one of the main ways people are looking, is if they go into photos and click menu, it will show whatever your customers have uploaded. And so a lot of times this can be an image that's 5 years old. It can be crappy. It can be blurry. So make sure that you're going in and uploading as a user the menu item that you want to show up for your restaurant. That's really, really key. Now, also on your phone, I don't think I'll be able to necessarily see it from, yeah, so from your phone, it actually will, if you go to listing on your phone, if you go to Google My Business and type in that listing and then click menu, you can actually fill out an entire menu on Google My Business now. And so that can be, again, very, very helpful. I always look at menus when I want to see something. So let's see here. I'm going to go in and just show you. Oh, I got to switch some things up. I won't do that right now because it's going to take me a second to set up, but just go, when you go into your back end of your Google My Business and just click on, you'll see there's like a menu bar item that you can click on, and you can add in all of your menu items there. It does take some time to set up, but again, it's super powerful because people right from the phone can instantly see, and you can actually set up different things, like you can set up happy hour and have a menu item and that kind of stuff. So I can tell you, for restaurants, one of the biggest challenges that we have when trying to learn about restaurants is like what their happy hour specials are, or the specials, or, you know, if they have any. I know a lot of restaurants right now have special like COVID offerings. It's like a takeout picnic or something, but it's really hard to find out about it. And then like, how do I actually go about getting this offering? So adding that onto your menu and then onto posts is really where you're going to want to add that stuff. Okay. Any other questions right now? Okay. So I'm going to show you some key things in terms of ranking, what's really important about ranking. Now, one of the first things about ranking is that, you know, Google is looking at how close are you to the location of where the person is searching? And this is for local SEO. Are you close to the city center? They're also looking at trust factors. So they're going to see, Google has a couple different ways of saying, are you a trustworthy business? One of the biggest being citations. And so citations are essentially other sites that list your business information on that site. And so Google wants to see consistent information, the same address, same phone number, same website, and they want to see you on a bunch of different sites. They essentially look at it as every other site that your business information is listed on is essentially a vote in confidence that you're a real business and it's going to help your listings. Whenever I see a client that is not ranking as high as I believe they should, the first thing I look at is how is the information showing up online? So one of the easiest ways to search for that, actually, let me share my screen again, is you can actually run a free business scan right from our website. If you go to localfi.us and then go to the free business scan, or here's the URL right here, you can see, and you just scroll down and you're just going to fill out all of this business information and it will populate a scan. So I actually ran a scan for one of the businesses that is on the webinar today. So you get to see Bookman's awesome business. You know, been a cornerstone in the Phoenix area for a long time. And so here's how they show up online. They're quite good. As you can see, you know, there are some issues though on Bing. Their name is a little bit different than their name on Google and a little bit different on Yahoo. So you can see, you know, some of these issues that pop up. And so this will actually hurt the rankings because the name is different. And so Google actually will penalize you instead of, you know, benefiting you. So that's one of the key things is I encourage everyone to go just run a business scan and see how you're showing up. You can also see there's some opportunities to be on additional listings. Again, these are just votes of confidence building and getting, you know, higher and higher rankings. So You know, that scan is extremely helpful. It's one of the first things that we do is we go and we help make sure that you're on all the right listings. We usually get our clients on over 150 local listing sites, and then that your information is correct all across the board. If you're not ranking as high as you think you should be, that's probably going to be one of the main reasons. So I'd love to actually, the Germain Roofing, is the owner of Germain Roofing on here? Because I'd love your permission to go through. I actually did a deep dive and have some information and direct things on how you can increase your listing, and I will help everyone. So if you are on, if you can let me know if it's okay for me to go through this, because I'd love to show you how you can really increase your visibility. And we'll wait for them to come on. Yep. What's that? Go ahead.
From Martin Aldrich.
Okay.
This might be something for later on. I have an online eBay store for OEM SXS parts, and I'm adding a new line aftermarket tires and wheels. No actual brick and mortar store. How can I best utilize SEO on the new website?
Great. So, you know, I would still encourage you to get a Google My Business listing. When you're setting it up, just list that you don't have a physical address and that you service people in outside areas. So you can still get a listing online, and the Google My Business show up. It won't drop a pin, but it will still show you, you know, it still will show you up online, and then you can capture reviews. So that's one of the biggest things, being able to capture reviews. And then it will also, you know, create a backlink. It just, having your visibility, having your Google My Business on Google is just going to help with SEO in general. In terms of driving additional SEO, you know, that's a lot of website stuff. I'm not going to get too much into website SEO today because it's a beast. It's hard to teach actionable items in 1 hour on about website SEO. But a couple things that you should be aware of is backlinks are huge. Getting links from other sites sending back to your site is going to help. Making sure you have the right keywords is going to be really important. Making sure you have the right headers is really important. So for instance, you know, if you look and see your different, you know, so this is an H1 header, you know, and so this is an H2, H3 header. So right here, you can see local marketing agency. This is a keyword that I have right in my H2 header. When Google's looking at SEO, they're going to look at what is your URL. They're going to look at what is your headers. They're going to look at how often is the keyword repeated in your text. They're going to look at your images. Are they geotagged? Are they SEO optimized? And then they're going to look at backlinks and how many links are sending back to your site. So that's just a quick overview of some of the things that you want to look into. In terms of doing some keyword research, my favorite tool is this Keywords Everywhere. Extremely affordable and easy to use. And so you can type in car parts and you can actually see how many people are searching for car parts. You can see the trend going on over time. And then you can actually, we can load some metrics and see different metrics here. So this tool, Keywords Everywhere, it's like $10, and we've never had to put more money into it. Every single one of my team members has this because it's probably the easiest to use keyword research tool out there. And so that is my recommendation for, you know, doing your own keyword research, is getting this tool. And then when you're not using it, you can just turn it off. But you can see I bought 100,000 credits months ago and I've only used 2,000. I use this all the time. So extremely affordable, and 100,000 credits, like $10. So that would be my recommendation for that. Great. All right. So Germain Roofing, we have permission. I'm excited to jump in. So you can see, first of all, this is their GMB listing. We can see they have awesome reviews. Reading through the reviews, I can tell this is a really, really great company, really cares about the customers. So let's just break down kind of what's showing up here. So number one, you know, we have a cover photo. It's a decent cover photo, probably could be improved. Does not, you can see, you have to think about your cover photo as a thumbnail, and you can't really see any of the branding on this or anything. But again, this cover photo isn't going to hurt your business, but could be probably slightly improved, but not, you know, solid cover photo. I've seen much worse. As we go down, you can see great reviews again. But right here, you can see definitely have a lot of opportunity to add a lot more text within the description. So again, you know, we go into to do this, go into info, and then down here, this is the description right here. So that's how you do that. So definitely that's a big opportunity. And then if you see the previous posts on Google, really all that's showing up is the one photo that I added in. So that's a huge opportunity. I know when I go to your website, you have a great little thing on your bottom telling people about the safety precautions. Well, that's something you should be adding in a post right now, because that's like one of the first questions people are having. Are you open? What safety precautions are you taking? So being able to put a post out right here is going to be really, really helpful with that. So that's just, quickly looking through GMB, those are some of the areas I can see can be improved pretty much immediately is the description and the posts. So then the next thing that I'm doing, because I'm just kind of seeing how he's ranking, is I type in roofing near its zip code. You should generally be ranking in the top 3 in your zip code because it's a relatively small area. And you can see right now, you're not ranking in the top 3. And that's surprising because you have like this roof replacement Mesa, 1 star. You absolutely should be ranking in the top 3. When I go in and look, I can see that you are ranking number 5. So the really big key thing to understand here is that we always strive to rank in the top 3 on Google My Business, because when you rank in the top 3, you show up in the Google Snack Pack, and this gets 35% of all the clicks on a Google search. Kim's telling me the new research from this last year is now saying 45. It keeps increasing, where the first website only gets 12. So the crazy thing about this is it's far, far more affordable to be able to rank in here than it is to be able to rank your website. And you get way more clicks. You get social proof. There's so much that happens. So the difference between ranking 5 and ranking 3 is massive, honestly, in terms of visibility. So, but my question is, all right, they have great reviews. They have a solid website. They should be ranking in the top 3. Why aren't they? So the first thing that I do is I go and I run my business scan. Well, I can see that he actually has business software, business citation software that he got at one point. Well, that should be beneficial. But again, because the ranking is not quite as high, I started digging into it a little bit more. And I started looking at the different sites that this software is actually optimizing, and I see immediately the issue. The first thing that we see is that the address is wrong. It's completely different than what's on Google My Business. So this software, I'm guessing that, and this is not uncommon, I've seen this many times before. A lot of times when people buy the website builder or they buy a different marketing software, they'll sign up for like local citation boost, and you get this software, and the person kind of fills it out once and never touches it again. And it actually, this software right now is hurting your business because it's sending out wrong information across the web and penalizing you. So I dug in a little bit more, and you can see this is your listing on City Squares. This is your cover photo that's being used. Again, you guys do great work. I've read your reviews, incredible work. I know you do. And so this is like kind of an odd cover photo, obviously, to put. There's no address at all. I know, I'm guessing you're running out of a home office, but again, you have your address up on Google. And so if you're gonna have your address on Google, you want it to be, shown over and over again. Here's another listing that's showing up. You can see there's almost no information. And this again is being pushed out by the software. And just to compare what this looks like versus what it should look like, this is one of our clients. And so you can see there's, pretty significant difference, in terms of, we have photos on here. We have all the information. We have a great description. And so really the key thing that's holding Jermaine back from just ranking higher, which they should, is the fact that the software, it was optimized once probably by another marketing company, and it's never been touched ever again. It wasn't optimized. Well, it wasn't even optimized, because if it was, you would have better photos and everything. And so, that's that would be my big thing for you, is that make sure that you figure out who is managing this software and either tell them to get their game together or make sure that they cancel the service, because this software is actually hurting you right now. In general, the software will help you because you actually get to push your information correctly online, but when the software is wrong and it's pushing out wrong data, that's going to hurt. In terms of software for managing citations, I used to do it all manually. In today's age, it does make a lot of sense to have a software because it just makes everything flow so much better. The one that I suggest in terms of just value, it's not necessarily the best out there, but in terms of value, I think it has the best value. It's very affordable. If you're going to be managing it yourself, I have no affiliation with this company. I just think they have a solid package. And you can see it kind of ranges, from 130 to 300 a year to get Moz Local, which will essentially push your information out and sync data across the web. Like I said, when you're working with Localfy, we have best in class software. So we're actually able to push it out to far more places. We can do more than Moz Local, but it is more costly as well. So there's just the trade-offs. So just want to share that with you is if you are planning on managing your local SEO and your local listings yourself, Moz Local is a pretty solid software to add into that to help you manage all of that. So just wanted to show kind of like how I figure out, okay, what's going on? How do you rank better? Obviously, there's a huge opportunity here because you're ranking number 5. You could rank up, probably just fixing your citations would jump you up and you'll be ranking in the top 3, which increases your visibility like 5 to 10x from ranking number 5. So just wanted to go through that quickly. Hopefully that helped you see some of your challenges. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. But so just wanted to show that because I thought that was a great look into a great business. Obviously, we know they're doing really good services because you can read the reviews. And so I just want to be able to help you get your visibility up a bit more. The other thing I do want to show is so you can see again, when I type in bookstore near Phoenix, our friend Bookman's is not showing up in the top 3, which again, they absolutely should. So, we look down and we actually see that they're ranking number 5. They have so many more reviews, than a lot of these other places. And they absolutely, again, should be ranking much higher. So that's, again, a bit of the citations. And then a big opportunity for Bookman's is, again, posting, especially because I know you guys have the entertainment exchange. You guys have some events going on and all of that kind of stuff. And so you can see there's just no posts right now, very few. The last post is actually on March 28th saying that they're not open. And so obviously that's a challenge when your last post ever put out is saying, hey, we're not open right now. So that's just make sure you're updating these posts, and we post every single week. So the reason that we post weekly is if you do a standard post, it'll only actually show up live for a week. Your old post will show up, but you have to like click into them. Where, the one that's live will actually show right here live on your Google Business. So we post every single week because of that reason. But there are some secrets into actually how you can get a post to stay up for much longer. So let me actually show that for a second. All right. Absolutely. Happy to help, Lou. All right, so here is post. So when you go into your back end, you're going to go into post and you can see here are all your posting options. You can actually post a COVID-19 update now. And this will let people know immediately what's happening with your business, and you can add a button. So you could add a call now or learn more. So that's really helpful if you're wanting to update your clients on what's happening around COVID. Obviously, that's important. If you just want to add an update, these are what most of these posts are, updates. You click right here. You're going to add a photo. You're going to write your description. And then you can, again, add this button, which is really cool. So you can add it right to a buy or right to an order online. So that's really helpful. And that's how you can do this is basically the standard posting that will stay good for a week. The offers are really cool because your offer, you actually can set up different sales that are going on. If you've overstocked items, you can put them out there. Even if you're, want to be highlighting your happy hour or anything like that. That's where you can put these offers. You can actually put a start date and an end date. And this will actually stay live until that end date. So this is one way to actually have a post stay live for much longer. You can add some additional details. You can actually add coupon codes if you want to, a link to redeem the offer. So all of that. So that's really, really cool for if you're, running specials. Now they also have an event tab. So I know events aren't happening nearly as much, but I know a lot of companies are starting to get innovative, doing online events, different things like that. So this is where you can add an online event. And again, it will stay live to the last day. So for, some of our clients, you know, maybe they're on a smaller package. We're not posting for them weekly. What we do is that we post an event. So we at least have a Google post live on their listing that people can see regularly when they go to their GMB listing. So that's how you can add that. And then products, as products is huge. Google is really, really fleshing out their e-commerce availability right now. They're putting a ton of effort into it. Obviously, right now, e-commerce has actually grown 10 times more this year than the past 10 years combined. It's pretty nuts. I have this belief that I think most local businesses are going to need to have an e-commerce avenue to really feel secure in the coming year or two. And so this is a really great way to start listing your products online, price range, and then you can actually link it with your Google Store. Google Store is getting huge now and actually start selling directly through Google. So there's a lot that's being fleshed out with this product offering right now. I know we're just in the beginning of putting a ton of money into really fleshing out the whole e-commerce platform on Google right now. So getting in from the ground up, oftentimes you can get a lot more visibility and everything. So this is a big opportunity for people who are selling products. And again, you don't need to be selling online to do this. You know, for our art gallery, you know, we have these products so they can kind of view what the art gallery is about before coming in. And then they can also see, and they can also, you know, contact and say, hey, we'd love to buy this. Can you ship it to us and that kind of stuff. So does anyone have any questions about posts? Let me know. But yeah, I highly encourage. This is one of the biggest things that differentiates our clients from most other local businesses. Is most businesses that are not putting out posts, or they're putting out very infrequently. We post every single week. We're also putting keywords in our posts, which is important. We're putting our location a lot of the times. You know, we're changing our posts up to hit different types of keywords. And again, Google is crawling all this information. They're always sending the spiders out to crawl everything. So anytime you can add more information onto this platform, Google loves it. They just love collecting information. And so they're going to reward you for that. So just wanted to highlight posts a bit more because it's super big. And it's just something that a lot of clients aren't doing right now. So with posts, that's awesome. And then one of the big things that I want to encourage everyone on here, you know, all local Mesa businesses, is really, we have such a power to be able to help review our other entrepreneurs. So, you know, one of the things I highly encourage everyone to do is just leave reviews for other people. You know, you don't necessarily even need to buy products from them. If you sit down and have a networking meeting or a Zoom meeting nowadays, and you really like that person, you can leave a review for them. You know, we can really, really help support our local businesses by helping to leave reviews. So with that, I would ask that if everyone, let me spell it right. But everyone, you know, Local First AZ, I think, has been such an incredible organization. You know, I just see how much they help. And so, you know, if everyone can go and leave a business, just type in Local First AZ and write a review right now. If you'd be willing to leave a review for Local First AZ, I know they would be happy about that. And, you know, obviously we want to give back to them because they've given so much back to the Arizona community. Kim and I actually have been traveling for 1.5 years straight. We've driven every single scenic drive in Arizona and many in California, Oregon. Anyway, one of the main reasons that we were so blown away by Local First AZ is every little town or every town we went into, we found that Local AZ had made an impact. That, you know, and it was just amazing that constantly, town after town after town, some of the most rural towns in Arizona that I wouldn't expect anyone had even heard of, there was Local AZ making an impact. And so that's really, you know, what caused us to join over probably 1.5 years ago. And, you know, really grateful that we did because they give back so much to the local Arizona community. So highly recommend, if you guys do, you know, got some benefit out of this, please leave a review for Local First AZ. And yeah, so those are a lot of the main things that I wanted to cover. Let me know if you have more additional questions. I have some time. I want to open it up. If someone even wants to talk to me, please feel free. You know, you can ask and we can unmute you. So I'd love to, you know, be able to answer some questions and help any business. If any other business wants me to do a deep dive or look into how they're ranking right now, just let me know.
Hi, this is Jeff. How you doing?
Doing well, Jeff.
Good, Isaac. Good presentation. So if I could ask a question here. So great information. I'd like to probably see this again, see the recording of it so that I can kind of start going through it. I'm already doing, of course, multitasking, right?
Right.
But, yeah, I went onto your website, did the scan, seeing that. I mean, you put a lot of good information down there. So it sounds like what I'm interested in, maybe some of the other folks on the I can't speak for everybody, but is there's a lot of free stuff you can do, a lot of inexpensive stuff that you can keep up on. So I definitely want to listen to this again. A lot of good stuff, and but wondering also what it is. I have a restaurant or two restaurants, so if what sort of help you give for that, to
Yeah, absolutely. So, restaurants are probably some of the most highly used Google My Business industry. I mean, it's kind of crazy, the traffic. We worked with Bitters Bar and Food in Scottsdale. And when we started, they were seeing 20,000 views a month. By the time that our contract ended a year and a half later, they're seeing 200,000 views a month. So
now, does that translate into butt in seats or takeout, or because
absolutely. So we were able to, in year one, we were able to track directly $1,000 a week coming in, and that was like we could clearly track that, and then year two was over $2,000 a week. We were able to increase revenue by over $200,000 in 1 year, which was her goal, was to increase it about 150,000. So that definitely,
nice.
we clearly saw an impact. Obviously, restaurants are a little challenging because you have such small margins. And right now, obviously, there's a lot of challenges with the restaurant industry. But this is why it's so important for you to be doing those postings, because, Google has really made those postings come center, especially on the phone. And so being able to share with people what your specials, what your offerings are, what your take, a lot of times, like, I'll find a restaurant right now, but I'm not clear about like what their takeout procedures are. And like, there's so much fear out there that if I'm not clear, I just skip it. And so the restaurants that are very clear in saying, hey, the order from us, call us, we'll take down your order. When you get here, we offer curbside, or come in and, you come into you're just being very clear on the exact procedure. That removes a lot of that fear about, well, how do I get my food after I order? So I think that's one of the biggest things for restaurants right now, is just being very clear on your offerings. And then, I think it's really cool when the restaurants are doing kind of like the picnic offerings right now. Date night is like kind of like gone away, right? But like there's all these couples that are stuck in their houses that want to have a date night. So I think there's huge opportunities for restaurants right now to create almost date night packages, and then promoting them through your Google My Business posts, through your website, through your social media. Just sharing what some of our restaurants have seen success with. Is that kind of that concept of the date night right now, because it's really kind of sorely missing.
Okay, good.
Cool. But yeah, definitely, as you said, there's so much. That's why I love Google My Business, is there's so much you can do on it for free. It's really powerful. And, obviously we get really good ROI for our clients. So, they have us manage it, which kind of frees up your hands. But, for anyone, it literally the first thing I do for every single business, whether we're going to be doing more or not, like, I got to get their GMB and the local listings really good, because it increases your conversion for all your other marketing avenues. So it's just huge. We're working with a trailer park, like a really large mobile home and trailer park in San Francisco right now. And their revenue had decreased by $30,000 a month during COVID. Within 2 months of working with us, we got them back up to 44,000. They were at 50,000. So we've almost completely returned them to pre-COVID revenue, and that's just within 2 months. And this is one of the hardest times. And all we did at first is the local listings. Like he's like, oh, I want to do SEO, I want to do paid ads. I was like, no, guys, we have to focus on your local listings first, because this is going to drive by far the most ROI, the quickest, and is going to increase all your conversion for the SEO we do later, for the paid ads we do later. So yeah, I think this is the best foundational base that you can really create. As in terms of a business marketing asset, Google My Business has consistently returned the highest ROI for all of our clients.
Okay, good.
Cool. Awesome. Any other questions? Anything else that I can go over?
I know there's one thing that I had mentioned. Different industries show up differently on Google My Business. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Isaac?
Sure. So Google, Google, like I said, has fleshed out Google My Business a ton. And so they've added kind of different things that different businesses can do. Restaurants, for instance, can add full menus now right through Google My Business. Some industries like the hotels and lodging can actually do posts. So there are some industries that aren't allowed to do posts. If you're in those industries, what we do instead is we do graphics. So you're still able to upload photos. And so we'll make essentially graphics that talk about our specials or the services that we want to highlight. And we'll post those instead onto pictures instead of running posts. Then, I know we work with several doctors, concierge medicine. There's additional things you can add into a lot of the Medicare things. So each industry is, they've just added a little bit different and they're still fleshing this out. I mean, Google My Business has become like the most trafficked thing that Google has. And so they're putting a lot of resources into it. So they keep building it. I've been working Google My Business for 10 years. I've never seen them flesh it out and build so many additional things you can do on it than the last like year and a half. It's been kind of insane. But it's great for us because we can, do so much more to help our clients. Cool. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for hopping on. Hopefully this was really, really helpful. Make sure that you go on and, do your business scan. That will be really helpful just to get a sense of where you are and how you're showing up online. One of the things we teach people is, if your sign was broken outside your restaurant, you'd fix that pretty quickly. But if it's broken online, most people don't even realize it. And thousands or more people are seeing it online than, seeing it driving past the restaurant every day. So that, that's really important to, have that information correct. Don't feel bad if it's not. It's like if you've ever moved locations, changed business names, or moved into a business that was another business, you have wrong data on the web. That's just how it is. And so, it's I would say 80 to 90% of businesses do have wrong data online. So don't feel bad about it, but the opportunity obviously now is to fix it. I've given you some clear, you can do it manually with the report, or you can go through Moz, which is, very affordable value, or you can, work with a company like us that will fix all that up for you. So those are kind of your solutions for fixing those up. So definitely, take action. The impact this has had on all of our businesses has been tremendous. All of our businesses have been able to, get through COVID. Almost every single one is back at pre-COVID revenue or higher. I've been even surprised at, how well, but people want to do things. I mean, people are cooped up right now. They want to do things, but they want to be safe. And so being able to really communicate what your offerings are, what safety procedures you're taking right now, that's just so important, and it makes a significant impact on your business.
I'm letting everyone know how to